Hello and welcome to our weekly Overload podcast. And today we are gonna speak about video games and their influence on the mental and physical health. So today we have our two glorious guests here, and I want them to introduce themselves. Can I start with you, please?
Yes, my name is Janar. I'm from Estonia. I'm 21 years old, and I learn creative business at NHL.
And you, please?
Yeah, I'm Ali, 21 years old, also from Iran, and I'm studying international business in Liechtenstein, second year.
Yeah. So as you can see, as you always we do, we have four cards here. One of them is challenge, and three of them are a typical question. So I will ask you one by one to take these cards. And can I start with you, Ali?
Yeah, sure.
Can you choose the card, please? And to read out loud what is.
Give an example of the worst and best game you've ever played, and why. So, the best game that I've ever played. Worst is kind of easy. There was one game which I don't remember the name, so. But there was one game which was really bad. Payday. Do you know Payday?
Yeah, the first one or the second?
I don't know. I think it was first one. It was released around 2012, 13, something like that. It was really bad. It was really bad. And the thing is, I got it in a trade with another game. I had a game which was really good, and I already finished it. So a friend of mine he was a good salesman, let's say. He advertised Payday to me in the way I was like, wow, what game can it be? And then we traded the games. I was like, bro, it's crap. You got that game for a Payday, and yeah, that was the worst. And if I want to talk about the best, well, there are many games that I really love them, but Far Cry 3,
Yeah.
wow, that game was like, it was like a workout for me.
Yeah.
2 hours of game, and I think I lost few kilograms while I was playing that game. That was too much pressure on me. That game was awesome.
Yeah, that game was awesome. Yeah, and do you had some kind of your favorites probably or your least favorite game?
Okay, I guess I don't know if I have a least favorite game. It's really hard to choose. There are a lot of bad games.
So you can just give me a list of them. So our dear viewers, if you hear these games, just write them down and never play them, please. So yeah.
Okay, this is gonna be a controversial one, but
Okay.
I really don't like Mario Sunshine.
I don't like Nintendo at all, as it's my that's why
Yeah.
I hate Nintendo actually.
Well, I don't hate Nintendo, but that game specifically, when I was younger and I played it, I was so mad. I just couldn't finish it. I now finished it when I was older, and I still think it's a bad game.
Well, yeah. And what's your favorite game or one of the favorites?
If I would go by which game I have played the most hours, then it would probably be. It's hard to say.
Okay, let's specify. Do you like more single player or multiplayer games?
Oh, I mainly play single player games, I think.
Respect,
same for me.
respect,
Yeah, same for me.
respect.
Yeah, but multiplayer games can be fun as well with friends and stuff.
Okay, so I really like your story about your friend that was a salesman, because I got a very similar story when it was 2012. Not gonna lie, when it was do you remember the Watch Dogs, the first one, the
Yes.
trailer of the
Yeah.
Watch Dogs?
Yeah.
So I've seen this trailer as a kid, and I was fascinated. I was just damn, I'm gonna buy this game and I'm gonna play it all day long. And it was a friend of mine, and he just yo man, there is gonna be another game kind of related to it. Its name is Sleeping Dogs. You should like it. You should try it. It's almost the same game. And I was kind of stupid, and I didn't get it. And I played the Sleeping Dogs, and man, that is one of my favorite games right now. This game is just amazing. If
Bruh. Bruh.
you don't like it,
Sleeping Dogs is the best. First when you said my friend was telling me Sleeping Dogs is like Watch Dogs, I was I thought you're gonna roast the Sleeping Dogs. You're gonna say no, it wasn't like Watch Dogs. But if you ask me, Sleeping Dogs is million times better than
Yes.
Watch Dogs. A Sleeping Dog, that game is next level.
yeah,
That's amazing.
that's Have you played it?
No.
I highly recommend you to play it. It's something the gameplay is very similar to GTA, but there is a very good melee fight mechanics, and they are something else. They're like from another planet, and like the game is about like your. I'm not gonna spoil it probably. So the game is very fascinating. You should definitely play it. I highly
Yeah.
recommend it.
I mean, I've seen like Twitch streamers play it, but I haven't played
It's
it myself.
kinda old already. It's not gonna worth a lot at the Steam, and even if we like wait for the winter and for some kind of sales, you should definitely buy it. It's
Yeah.
amazing game. It's just a game.
And it's so addictive. Like I have a few memories with that game, and now I had just flashbacks with them. Like I remembered on the moment of New Year's event back in Iran, I was playing a Sleeping Dogs. Like I couldn't get out of my room to come to the New Year Eve to family. Everybody were waiting outside. I was still playing a Sleeping Dogs. Like that game was really addictive, and the storyline was like you're in a movie.
Yeah.
Like you really felt like you're part of the movie. Like beautiful.
Yeah, and if you like enjoy some kind of Asian, I don't know, film industry, you would really love Sleeping Dogs because it has some kind of vibes of the Old Boy. You know, this kind of movie when the main hero is just so super badass, he can beat everyone, and it's just like so addictive. And when I was a little kid, probably it's now I think about this game only on like a positive side because I played it like a long time ago when I was younger. But I hope it's not like this. Yeah, and I really like the story about the Christmas Eve because I had the same story, like the similar story with Mafia, the second
Yeah.
one.
But actually, that wasn't Christmas Eve.
Yeah,
That's
it was.
no, it's we have different type of thing.
It's okay, sorry.
No, no worries, it's fine. Same shit.
We had like a Christmas holidays, and I remember how I first time in my life played Mafia 2, and it was so addictive. So now every Christmas I play Mafia. That's my
Shit. That's like rituals.
Yeah, so that's why I look like a mafia boss. not because I have not another like clothes. All of them are black except of this one, but yeah,
What?
it's like a mafia reference. So yeah, and can I ask you to take other card, please?
Okay. But actually, I have like a
Oh, yeah,
idea
please.
on like what my favorite game might be.
Yeah.
Okay, so I thought about it, and I think it's a game called Ace Attorney. If anyone has heard about it, it's like a game where you're a lawyer and you have to defend your client who is like wrongly accused of murder or something. And
Oh, I've seen the memes with it.
have you seen?
Yeah,
Oh,
like the memes, like it's like objection.
yeah,
This-
objection.
yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good
Yeah.
game though. I recommend it.
Uh,
It's like a long story game. It's like the whole trilogy. I think is like, if you play it and watch through all the stuff, it's I think like 20 hours or more even. Just like mainly like a text-based adventure, but you also have to like discover stuff and yeah.
Is it available on PlayStation?
Yeah, I think it is. The trilogy is available. Yeah.
So may I ask you to choose another card, please?
Yes. Have you tried yourself in esports, and if so, describe your experience?
Have you tried what?
And esports. Like for example, you played CS:GO as a kid, and you're just like, wow, I'm gonna be the next Simple. I'm gonna destroy everything in everyone in CS:GO. Have you ever tried yourself in esports, like in League of Legends or Counter Strike? I don't know.
No, honestly.
Like, okay, what do you think about the esports in general? Are you
Oh.
fan of them?
I don't really watch it at all.
You don't really watch it, and you?
Honestly, till now I didn't have any idea that much what is exactly sport. Like,
Okay.
I don't know about it.
I see. Well, I don't know. For me, an esports was some kind of interesting stuff when you stop playing some multiplayer game, but you still follow the esports like community. It's kind of interesting, and you feel involved in this type of community. So yeah, that's why I actually added this stupid question here.
Is it like FIFA League that they have in there?
Yeah, something like that. Like, but for me personally, I mainly like watch Counter Strike Global Offensive esports, just like tournaments and stuff. Don't actually play the game, but watch how pro players can do it.
I think a friend of mine used to do that. Now I have something. Yeah.
And like, I don't know about you, but in my country, in Ukraine, we have some kind of, I don't know, cultural like tradition actually to try your best in some kind of competitive esports games. and try to be good at it, because we have some kind of legends like Alex Simple, like something like that are just, I don't know, icons in our world. Yeah. So yeah, that's why this very, as I thought, interesting, but as we see, uninteresting question appeared here. Have you tried yourself in esports? And if so, describe your experience.
I've never tried esports, but I've watched some shows, and that's it.
No, because I don't play video games.
Thank you so much. So,
Oh, that's fine.
Ali, can I ask you for
Yeah, sure.
another card, please?
Did you ever play a game as a child that influenced you as you grew up? Influenced me as I grew up. Well, it's a really interesting question, to be honest. But I mean, there were few games that I played as childhood that probably influenced me because I was so obsessed with them, and I still think about them. That I think they had some influence on me, I can say.
Can you say like the examples?
Yeah, for example, do you know Need for Speed Carbon?
Yeah.
I think that game was officially the first game that I ever played in my whole life. Like, I had it on computer, and that game was the start of me becoming a... I mean, I can't consider myself as a gamer because I only play games to chill, relax, and I don't even play multiplayer. But that game was the moment that I was like, okay, I want to do this thing more. Yeah. So, I don't know how it influenced me, but it's still after so many years, like, I don't know, 14, 50 years, I still think about that game sometimes. Also, Forza Horizon was one game which really introduced me, because, you know, in Forza you can configure the cars in really high level, which after some time I kind of found out that I'm kind of learning these car parts and how you can configure them in reality. Like, I was watching some mechanic show in television, and I see like, wait, I kind of know some of the parts that he's talking about, and it was all because of the Forza configuration that I used to do myself.
And do you have some kind of examples like this?
Okay, like I have the one game that like inspired me to start playing more story-based games, and that was Life is Strange. If you've heard of that one.
Yeah.
That was so good. I was like, damn, I gotta play more story games after that. It's like I love the story of it and the like plot twists and stuff.
If you like the story-based games, have you played some kind of Telltale games?
No, I haven't.
Like The Walking Dead.
No.
You should definitely, if you like the story
Yeah,
based.
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like,
Probably should.
yeah. So yeah, for me personally, when I was like a little kid, the first game I ever played was very unknown, like a strategy game as a Stronghold, and that's from my so this like childhood experience caused me that I play only strategy games right now. Actually, yeah.
No.
So, and now we are gonna ask our audience what do they think about some video games that influenced them probably in their childhood.
Well, I'm not a fan of video games, but when I was playing like PS games, I like for so long I felt dizzy. So I felt that it's like not really good stuff. I'm constantly watching and playing. So yeah, it's not good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I don't think so, no, because I never played a lot during my childhood. Maybe.
So, Eleanor, can I ask you one more time to choose the only cards that left?
Yes. Have you ever experienced negative effects in your mental state related to video games? Alright. Related to video games. That is hard to say. Probably. Do I have to give an example or?
Not an example. You can just tell overall how. For example, I felt very bad when I played Counter-Strike like day after day on my life, and I noticed that I became kinda aggressive or something like that, and that's why I stopped playing some kind of competitive games, because I'm not so competitive when I cannot win all the time. So yeah. Do you have some kind of examples in your life like this?
I don't know. The thing is, like, even if I'm influenced, I'm not aware of it. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes they influence you and you don't know. But I can't say it was mostly influenced during the playing. Like some games were so, tricky that you keep failing one level over and over, and at the end you freak out and you start punching the wall and stuff like that. I don't know. It was, I think, the most game. Let's say the last game that really influenced me mentally and made me become like 11 years old kid that I used to be was Neo.
Oh.
That shit is like, I was like, come on. I wasn't 18 years old and I was screaming at home. Like I was almost crying because the game was so hard, and it was so addictive. And I remember it was like 2 days before my IELTS exam. So, and the game kind of smashed me. Like I couldn't do anything. I mean, at the end I passed IELTS with a good score, but for a few days I was really gone with that game, and it was always thinking about it. Like even when I was studying, I was like, oh shit, I should finish this level. And at the end I finished the level, and I didn't know how to go to next level. So somehow I went back to the level, then I just finished it. And at that point I was like, oh fuck this shit. I just threw away this disc.
Wow. That can happen probably. Like I had some kind of fun experience when I was a little kid. I didn't have my laptop and I didn't have nothing to play on, but I had a PlayStation Portable, PSP.
Oh.
And I remember how I had my first disc. It was God of War, but it was only in Polish, and I didn't know Polish back in the days when I was 8 years old. And I remember this game was so fucking difficult. I was crying, I was screaming, and I was learning Polish in process. That's so strange. Like, what video games can do for you.
Yeah, which God of War? Probably was one or two.
It was some kind of Ghost of Sparta. It was like
Ghost of Sparta.
Yeah.
I know that one.
Yeah, and it was like very difficult for you as a child, and plus you're listening how Kratos angrily screaming "kurwa" on Polish, and it's just something else.
God of War is always hard.
Yeah.
Though I didn't like the last one.
You didn't like the last one? Why?
Not Rangok, the one before that, 2018.
Why not?
The story was so short.
The story was short.
Yeah, honestly.
I actually don't play it because I don't have a PlayStation. I didn't have a PlayStation back in the day, so I didn't finish it, didn't try it.
No, I played all of them, and I can say third one was the best. Fourth one was really bad, really bad.
It's a tough life of a PC gamer. You cannot play the stuff that PlayStation people can. Yeah. And do you guys, are you a PlayStation or a PC player?
Mainly PC, but I also have a Switch. So
Maybe it's better to start with the history of our console, like from the beginning, what we played. I think that's a good idea.
that's gonna be a long
Yeah,
list.
like I had my first console was PlayStation Portable, but my second was Xbox 360. Oh, and it was so kind of emotional damage to me as a child, because I remember how I was begging my parents to buy me a PlayStation 3, and says that no. A friend of mine, he told me that Xbox 360 is better than PlayStation 3, and they actually gave me a hacked Xbox 360, so I could not play online, could not do anything. And I was crying actually at a Christmas Eve. Yeah, that wasn't the best experience. So yeah, I can say that I'm a proud PC gamer. Yeah, I do only that mainly.
Yeah. Okay. Well, my first ever console was a Game Boy Advance SP.
Damn, that's old.
Yeah.
How old are you?
What?
You're 21.
Yeah, I'm 21.
Man, that's old console. Man.
Yeah, I think I was like 6 or 7 when I got it. But yeah, that was my first console. That was pretty fun. I had like Pokemon and Batman on that one, some games like that. After that, I got I think the next console was a PSP. Then I got a PS3, like PlayStation 3. After that, I got a like laptop to play games on. Then I bought a PlayStation 2, I think.
2?
Yeah, PlayStation 2.
Why, you downgraded?
Yeah.
You wanted to play some kind of games that you could not access on PlayStation 3.
Well, I could technically play them on PlayStation 3 as well, but I wanted to have a PS2.
It's like full collection,
Yeah, exactly.
except PlayStation 1. And
Yeah.
what's your first?
Well, I started from computer with the carbon thing, but the computer was too weak that it couldn't load the carbon after some point. So I was 6 years old. I got PS2, and when I was 11, I got Xbox 360. And when you say that you were crying to buy PS3, I was like, oh my god, that's me. Like I exactly had the same thing. Exactly, I remember that I was begging my parents to buy me a PS3, and suddenly all relatives, families, all people were like, no PS3s. I don't know, it's blah blah with PS3s like that, PS3 like this, buy Xbox. And they were so much talking shit about PS3 that my parents were influenced. Like they didn't know anything about consoles, but they were telling me like, no, Xbox is better. I'm like, what do you know? I like that was so much. That was really fucked up. And even the moment that I got Xbox, I was still sad like, oh come on, because I was always obsessed with Sony. I mean, like since I was really young, like everything was Sony. I don't know, sound system, camera, television. So you know, I saw that brand so much around myself that it already was part of me. That was when I was. That's why when I was going to buy something other than Sony, I felt like I'm betraying it. It was so emotional for me, and yeah. But at the end, Xbox was good. At least I got to know Forza.
Well, yeah. At least I played Red Dead Redemption first one. Yeah.
Yeah.
At least.
But also I had it on Xbox.
What?
I had the Red Dead Redemption on Xbox.
Yeah. I had Red Dead Redemption on Xbox too. It
Yeah.
was fun. Back on the days.
Yeah, that was a good.
Like a question: do you guys actually enjoy video games as much as you used to enjoy it when you were a child? When you were children? Because I do not.
I think I enjoy them the same much, yeah, but you have to like find new games and stuff. If you just keep playing the same games, obviously it's gonna get stale pretty fast. But if you play new games, it's pretty much almost the same experience. I mean, you don't have the same imagination anymore, so it's not as realistic, I guess, but still.
Yeah.
No,
No.
like, I mean, technically it should be better because I mean, I haven't played that much in the past 2 years since I came to the Netherlands. I just played randomly with some people, friends and family's PlayStation. But well, like when I was 8 years old, everything was worse. I had the PS2, I had the old television. Like there was no really good sound system, and still I was more embraced with the game than when I was 18 years old that I played with a 4K television and I don't know, surround sound system. So it should have been better, but it was actually worse. Like I don't know how everything was better, but you don't get the feeling anymore.
Yes.
Like I don't know, like I used to check my phone in the middle of playing, but I remember when I was 8 years old and when I was playing, I couldn't think of anything else except playing.
Same. Now and when I understood the like problems that you're talking about, I was like, probably I should come back to the games that actually gave me some positive
Yeah.
emotions and some positive feedback. And I went back to my PSP and I again installed this Polish God of War Ghost of Sparta, and I played it again, and I was so devastated because I was destroyed. I was actually destroyed, and I thought that like I'm a gamer. I played a lot of games. I could easily beat the God of War, but no, no, this game destroyed me.
What difficulty was it on?
It was the Spartan, like the maximum difficulty.
Oh, okay.
I used to play
It's hard,
as a
yeah.
kid. I was used to play at the maximum difficulty because it wasn't any translation of the difficulties, and I didn't know what I was
shit.
choosing. Well, yeah. So guys, what I should tell as a like summary for this episode, you should learn Polish to play games. Like probably it's not anymore at 2008. We are not anymore in Ukraine, but you should still learn Polish to play the Witcher 3, for example. Yeah, what a glorious game. Yeah.
But I have something to add at the end that for people who seeing this podcast in video, the reason that I'm wearing glasses doesn't have anything to do with gaming. I have been wearing glasses since I was 3 years old, and in that time I didn't play games, so I'm just telling you. Yeah.
Well, for viewers that are watching it and thinking that glasses are because the video games are actually true, they're having a point because for me, I have this kind of situation. I played too much.
Oh.
Yeah.
So guys, it's not a lie.
Yeah. It's dangerous for your mental health to not play video games. Just give all the video games you have to me.
Yeah.
Yes. That's it. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Overload. It was me, your host Ivan, again So thank you very much for my dear guests. Thank you for participating. It was amazing experience. It was very interesting talk. And don't be overloaded. Bye bye.
Right.
Bye.